What's up, everybody? It's day 32 of 100 days of code. Day 32. So here we are once again, my friends, to talk about the ups, the downs, the highs and lows of 100 days of codes. So 100 days of code, what is it about? 100 days we've committed, I've said, signed my name on that dotted line and said, for 100 days, I will be coding at least 1 hour a day. Make myself accountable publicly to all of you fine individuals. And last, I'm going to share my emotions and my thoughts and that sort of thing via Twitter, LinkedIn, those sort of means. But also, I'm on week 5, almost done with week 5 of School of Code, this amazing intensive boot camp that is free and for every background. Doesn't matter your background, whether you're from a different culture, whether you're from a different age group, whether you didn't go to university, whether you got a computer science thing or you don't, it does not matter. Whether you want to change careers, School of Code is the one for you. And that's what I did. So I am a testament to that. And I'm on week 5, which is awesome. And it's almost ending. Tomorrow's hackathon, which is going to be awesome. But today, the big question is, what did we get up to today? Well, the same thing every night. And the same thing we do every day. Try and take over the world. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. Although that was the response today. We had basically in the boot camp today. Every morning we do squats, as you guys know. So we have buns of steel, and thighs of steel, and we got bodybuilding legs. But not only that, but we also say what we're grateful for. We squatted out to Barbie Girl this morning, which is real special. So we did that. I don't know who could have requested such a crazy request. I just don't know who that could have been. No idea. No idea who that could have been. The finger is not pointing at me. Oh, it is. Okay, so never mind. Anyways, it was a funny thing. It was so funny. Anyways, back to the policy at hand, 100 days of code. So what did we learn about today? Well, first and foremost, we had a mindset session with the legendary Joseph, and we spoke about lots of things like we looked at our goals, and we looked at how you can be a humble learner and a humble listener and things like that. And my big takeaway from that today was he mentioned how essentially this author that he mentioned said that you can't really say how people should do things, but instead you say, well, what options were you thinking about? And you help them to discover it for themselves. So essentially, it sounds really vague, but essentially the way that it goes is that you might try to tell somebody what the answer is to a question, but they can only find the answer to that question themselves. You might even tell them the answer. They might ask for your input. They might ask for your feedback. But unless they're ready, they won't arrive at an answer, even if you tell them the exact answer to a question. And so really, life and this boot camp and this coding and all these things we're doing, it might feel a bit like a fire hose splashed to the face, like just a fire hose blasting the face, because it's so intensive, this boot camp that we're doing, because there's so much knowledge being thrust our direction that it feels like a fire hose to the face. But actually, it's one of those things that we have to take a bird's eye, and Laws was legendary as well. Laws is one of the assistant coaches on our boot camp who essentially spoke a little bit about his journey as well. And that was really powerful as well, just to get that bird's eye view and, being he was really honest and just look, I don't remember all these concepts either. He said, if you were to ask me to do all the CRUD and set up a server from scratch, from memory, he said I wouldn't be able to do it. But I know generally which direction to go in, and I'd probably have to Google a few things. And, that's very similar to us. He said it's more important about learning the bird's eye concepts, learning the overview, learning the big scale concepts. And I think, and Joseph was talking about the thing of, keeping that humble mindset, keeping to the journey, and, not getting caught up in comparison as well, not comparing yourself to others. There's an old quote that says that he who compares is not wise. And then the only person you're comparing yourself to is yourself. Where did you come from and where are you now? Don't compare yourself to others, because if you compare yourself to others, you didn't come onto this course in this boot camp. You didn't come on this coding journey to beat somebody else. You didn't come to, come first in a race or come second in a race. You came to change your life and get into a career in tech. That's the reason you're here. So whether or not you are a very fast learner and you get it the first time or you get it after the fifth time, it matters not. You're committed to the journey, the hero's journey. And each one of us heroes, whether it's me or whether it's one of you guys who are watching, in your coding journey, wherever you are, the real crux of things is that that's okay. If it's slower or it's faster, you just keep showing up and you keep committing to the process, and you just let that, when you'll get it if you just keep committed. You just stay consistent. You just be kind to yourself. You be patient with yourself, and you find those things and you get specific, right? You don't say, like, when you get overwhelmed, your inner critic's going to be like, well, you don't know anything. But instead, like, if you get stuck in that position and you say, well, I don't know something, get specific and say, well, what is it I don't know? What is it I don't know? And then work on those things that you don't know and have goals. So we mentioned about these sort of goals. And some for me were sort of like thinking about, well, some of the things I want to work on is I'm thinking about like my portfolio. So I'm thinking, okay, my goal is I'd like to do a side project, just one for now, and get that done for my portfolio so that I can get that completed. So then we broke into breakout rooms and we were able to speak about, sort of different ideas, and everybody shared. And it's such a good collaborating environment to really share honestly where everybody's at. And there were some really, really good ideas and feedback for ourselves as well of ways we could discover new ways. So that was really, really cool. What else did we learn today? Well, we went into some more Postgres SQL. So we did some more of that as well. So we really broke down each of the steps of what we're meant to do. So going into the nodes again, going into the scripts again, and how to run those. We looked at importing and exporting again with ES6, and we looked at how to do that and the difference between that and CommonJS. We did a lot of review today because tomorrow's the hackathon, so sort of to set us up, looking at .env files and what to put inside those .env files. So things like, for example, like putting in, if you're using something like Heroku or using like a cloud server, putting in host and username and password and all those good things in there as well. And we showed some different ways of going about that. We used the documentation to set up a different way of setting up so yesterday we set up a pool. Today, instead of that, we set up more of like a client, so that actually we could draw the information from a database from a client side as opposed to a pool file and having it all there. And having many hoses, we had one hose. So that was really interesting to do it a different way and refactor it that way. Then obviously we found another way to be able to sort of, we were shown this, I think it was like Elephant SQL or something. There's like this other, that's not Heroku, another way that you could store your database. And we learned just other ways to go about it. And really the message is that there's not, just one way to go about a solution, but actually there's many ways. And we also looked at refactoring some of our code to where we could then take the logic and we could put it into a models folder, and we could change it where it's no longer drawing the information from files in the folders, but instead it draws that data from the database itself, from the SQL, from the Postgres SQL database that we have on Heroku. So we started refactoring things and making them async and making them where they were out of sync and they were awaiting a promise, and figuring out how to, in all the different files, how to make things await so that they were able to work together, and then draw, for example, get all books, which is, we've been doing this books one, So if we wanted to get all the books from the Postgres SQL database, then we could do that by actually using async functions to do that and use the logic. So that was super fun. We did lots of that with pair partnering and pair programming. So all in all, it's been a great day. I mean, things were just slowed down a bit more. Yesterday was like the fast train. It was like light speed. Today was sort of like a little bit more of the scenic route, taking our time on things and sort of really breaking it down, more participation, really going deep on a few things, and really solidifying that knowledge so that we're prepared for the hackathon tomorrow. So all in all, great day. Oh, and my son got to, we do this thing at boot camp every day where we sign everybody off. So my son just happened to be coming this way. He's only 3. And he got to sign everybody off today. So he does a little, on Zoom, we do this thing where like, we sign everybody off and do like, hands every which way. So we did that, signed everybody off. Super cool. So all in all, great day. And you know what? Big shout out to Archie and Laz K. It's not Laz K really, but big shout out to Archie and Laz K, who did a fantastic job in Liz K's absence. Thank you for all your work. I know it really reassured a lot of people, really helped a lot, and keep up the great work. And looking forward to the hackathon tomorrow. Anyways, guys, until then, I thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time for Hackathon Friday. See you soon. Take care.